So, Caitlin Clark was spotted at the old Iowa game. She was spotted at the Iowa game, and yeah, it kind of broke the internet. Obviously, that was always going to happen. It was always going to happen with her being in attendance that a lot more people were going to be kind of interested in that. But, like, I will have to say, it is kind of cool. Also, the fact Lisa Bluter was there was great. But yeah, we saw a halftime show where it effectively was just a Caitlin Clark, for lack of a better word, like, I'll say praise. I'll say praise. Like, saying Caitlin Clark Glaze session does not sound the greatest coming out of my mouth, especially because not only am I Irish, I'm also fairly. I also don't know how I'm sick, but like I seem to have gotten sick again. But I know I feel a lot better anyway than yesterday. I'd say it's just one of those weather change and getting over it in a day or two. But anyway, Caitlin Clark was there to watch the Iowa Hawkeyes, and the Iowa Hawkeyes are hooping this year, man. They're hooping. Like, I don't think anyone really anyone needs to question that. Katie Dinabeer with 40 points. And Addie O'Grady has been balling this year. 27 points today. You got 18 from Lucy Olsen. But, like, as O'Grady, I'm pretty sure O'Grady's been their best player. Like, Hannah Stokey as well. Like, O'Grady's only averaging 13, man. I thought she was averaging more. Stokey averaging 14.7. Lucy Olsen averaging 77.7. So, like, they're not doing the greatest when it comes to scoring individually, but as a team, Iowa Hawkeyes are still 5-0. But 40 points here, which is mad. How many free throws did she shoot? She only made 8. She had 40 points. She made 8 field goals. She made 17 free throws? She shot two-pointers and made 17 free throws. That is mental. But for averaging 13 points a game, she did go and put up 40, which is, you know, a bit of a mad old stat. Either way, though, this is a big deal. It's honestly a big deal for Iowa. It's a big deal for women's basketball. And it's anything is a bigger deal. And that's what I'll always say. It's like anything that brings eyes to the sport in a positive way, because we all know that, like, women's basketball was it was basically a joke for decades. It was a joke for decades. Like, it was a punchline more than it was a sport. And you're now seeing this situation where it's like, look, even if it is her just going to a game, and I'll say this about, like, players going back to their old teams, or players just going to stuff in general, where it's like, when these players become celebrities, it becomes a much, much bigger deal. It's a huge positive for the league, for the sport. Like, what Caitlin Clark is doing, what Paige Beckers did over the summer, what Angel Reese is doing is a positive. And heck, even, like, I think one big positive as well is another huge name is hooping right now in Hailey Van Lith. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, obviously, this is and people are all like, oh, why is Caitlin Clark not at the game with Gabby Marshall, with all of these other with all these other players, when Gabby Marshall and Kate Martin and stuff were there? And it's like, well, she just wasn't there. But at least now we're seeing Caitlin Clark there. We're seeing Lisa Bluter, her old coach, which is an important thing. And yeah, it's a big one. So, wow, the draft lottery just came in. This changes things. This changes things. But yeah, so college ball was a pretty mad day, to be fair. Like, this was a pretty mad day. Obviously, the biggest story was Caitlin Clark showing up. And that's the thing when it comes to these teams, is there are certain teams that are not going to be necessarily the biggest draws. Like, UConn didn't play. And that's the one thing I've noticed is, like, the bigger draws are, like, if UConn plays, yes. If UConn plays, there is a big, big draw. And if, to be fair, if Duke plays, or not if Duke plays, sorry, if Iowa plays, it's not too bad. But, like, today we saw, like, we're seeing, scores, like, Duke almost losing to SDSU, is it SDSU? South Dakota State. Maryland, in fairness, beating Towson. I didn't even know there's in East Carolina. Notre Dame beating Lafayette by like 40. Baylor winning, but like Stanford losing to Indiana. So like Indiana they were ranked, they were bad. They've then gone beat ranked Stanford. Ohio State almost losing to unranked Belmont. TCU not being ranked. TCU and Iowa not being ranked are both mental. Like they both should have been ranked from the start, and neither of them are ranked. And obviously, Iowa beat Drake today, by a little bit. And again, Alabama won. So, other than the TCU NC State, which, ironically enough, if you guys saw the actual, like, odds, it was TCU were favorites to win that game. But, yeah. So, Caitlin Clark in attendance. And it is good. It's good to see it because, look, as popular as the Fever were, this Iowa Hawkeyes team were more popular. Like, if you think that the Fever were the most popular team Caitlin Clark's played on, you are not correct. You are absolutely, absolutely not correct about that one. Because if Caitlin Clark was on the Fever, or if Caitlin Clark was on any team, they become popular. But the thing is with those Iowa Hawkeyes, maybe in a few years, Fever will be more popular. Like, Kate Martin outsold Aaliyah Boston in jerseys. Kate Martin outsold Lexi Hull in jerseys. And it was a lot harder to get a Kate Martin jersey than it was to get a jersey for Aaliyah Boston, and Kate Martin still outsold her in jerseys. If Gabby Marshall was in the W, she probably would have been still top 5 in jersey sales as well. Higher than AJ Wilson if Gabby Marshall was there. If Monica Zanano was in the WNBA, oh, you better believe she's number 3 in jersey sales after Sabrina Ionescu. But, after Angel Reese. Either way, that is that. An interesting day of college basketball, but still the biggest headline is Caitlin Clark going to an Iowa game, and it is always a good thing to see. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you guys think that Iowa are for real? Do you guys think they should be ranked? And for me anyway, like the Hailey Van Lith, I'm happy I called it. I'm happy I called Hailey Van Lith having a bounce back year at the start of the year. But like for me, that's kind of like this is the kind of cement point where you're like, nah, Hailey Van Lith is legit, and she is a legit late first, early second round pick alongside like your Rory Harmons and stuff. But anyway, that is the video, lads. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.